Okay, if we look at example 3, you'll notice example 3 has fractions. Now I'm going to tell you something right now. I need everybody to listen very carefully because there is a very important stipulation to this thing I'm about to show you. Okay, the if part is what's important here. If you have an equation, a bunch of stuff equals a bunch of stuff. Equal sign has to be there. If you have an equation and there's fractions in the equation, you can get rid of the fractions. You can make them disappear legally. Okay. Now if you have 1/2 plus 1/3, that equals 5/6, and you can't get rid of them. If the answer is a fraction, the answer is going to be a fraction. They can't get rid of it. Okay. But in the working of the equation, you can get rid of the fractions if there's an equal sign. Stuff equals stuff. As long as there's an equal sign, fractions can be gotten rid of. So here's how it works. First thing, I'm going to write the problem on my paper. So again, that's in my book. What's going to go on my paper is 1m/5 minus 1/2 equals 3/4. I prefer to put the m on top rather than in front. Okay, 1/5 times m is equivalent to 1m/5. I just like to really establish that m is in the numerator. Okay, the way this works is if I was to add or subtract, I'd have to get a common denominator, right? What's the common denominator of 5, 2, and 4? 20 is the least common denominator. I would have also gone with 40, 60, 80. Any multiple of 20 also works. But 20 is the least common denominator. That's the magic number. Okay, I'm going to multiply the entire equation times 20. As long as there's an equal sign there, this always works. This is legal because what I'm doing is I'm multiplying the left and the right hand side by the same number, the multiplication property of equality. All right. I'm going to do this one piece at a time. And I want you guys to be really good at this because it's not very difficult. But sometimes people don't follow what I'm doing here. So let me try and make sense of what I'm going to do here because I'm just going to write the answer down. I want you to know how I'm doing it so you can do it the same way because it's very, very simple. A fraction is a multiplier and a divider. Top number multiplies, bottom number divides. We're going to do both operations, dividing first because dividing makes things smaller, multiplication makes things bigger, right? So I could do 20 divided by 5 is 4, 60 divided by 4 is 15. That's multiplication first, right? Or 5 times 3 is 15, smaller to big. So what we're doing is we're dividing by the bottom number, multiplying the result times the top. So let's take the black one, for example, this multiplication. What's 20 divided by 5?
4.
4 times 1m?
4m.
4m. Fraction disappeared. Okay, as long as this is the least common denominator, it will divide evenly. The result multiplies by the top, fraction disappears. If we do the red one, what's 20 divided by 2?
10.
10 times negative 1 is?
Wait, what'd you say?
Like 20 divided by 2 is?
Okay.
10 times negative 1 is?
Negative 10.
Negative 10. Fraction disappeared. Looking at the blue one, 20 divided by 4 is?
5.
Times 3 is?
15.
15.
Ooh.
Okay, that will work 100% of the time as long as it's an equation and as long as this is a common denominator. The answer to this problem is exactly the same as the answer to that problem. This has no fractions in
Do
it.
you want us to do it that way?
I would recommend it. Makes life easier. You can work it with the fractions. Well, in fact, I'll tell you what, let's get an answer, get what the answer is, right? And then we'll work it with the fractions and see if we get the same answer. And take a look at the difference in the work and you can make a decision how you want to do it. But again, it always works. Equal sign, legal. Common denominator, what you have to multiply by. Divide first, multiply the result, and you get what you get. So, if 4m minus 10 equals 15, job 1 is to fix the subtraction or addition. So minus 10 is what I don't want. Plus 10 is what gets rid of it. If I want plus 10 on the left, I got to do plus 10 on the right. Minus 10 plus 10 cancels, leaving 4m. 15 plus 10 is 25. Notice these signs are the same. These subtract because the signs are different. These signs are the same, so I add. Divide both sides by 4. 25 does not divide evenly by 4, so 25 over 4 is a perfectly fine answer. I much prefer an improper fraction to a mixed number or a decimal. So the first place you get to in these problems is the improper fraction form. Just leave it there.
So you don't want us to do like
6 1/4 or 6.25. I'd rather have 25/4. Much better answer. Much less work. Same result. Means the same thing. So going back to Amber's question, what if we did it the other way? What if we kept it as fractions? So m over 5 minus 1/2 equals 3/4. First step would be to add 1/2 to both sides, right? So plus 1/2 here, plus 1/2 here in the form of 2/4 for the common denominator's sake, right?
Yep. And
So
then I
minus
just left it
minus
with
plus
5.
cancel, so I get 1m over 5 is equal to 5 over 4. And then since we have a fraction coefficient, the reciprocal is the fix here, so times 5 over 1. So 5 and 1 all cancel out, leaving m. 5 times 5 is 25 over 4. Same answer. Works every time. Okay. For me, I like to get rid of fractions. I'm really good at fractions, but I'm much better at whole numbers. So if I can get to an easier form, I'm going to definitely want to do that. So that's kind of why I want to do it. So, but again, take your pick. You get the same answer either way.